Hello everybody, I hope you guys had a great Wednesday. Today we're going to be looking at our next Northeast snowmaker. We just had Winter Storm Ezekiel, which dumped over 30 inches in some areas just to the south of Albany, New York, and also into parts of western Massachusetts and southern Vermont. All those areas got hammered with over 20 inches of snowfall. And now we're going to add some more snowfall onto that with some lake effect snowfall and another Alberta clipper that could be moving through parts of the extreme northern Midwest and Great Lakes, and then into parts of the Northeast, and even cities like Boston, Portland, Albany could get some more snow on top of what they already saw from Ezekiel. We're gonna start off here with the National Weather Service in these purples, which you see that are dotted from the Northeast to the Rockies and then into the Sierras. Those are winter weather advisories. So for California, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico, and then also for upstate New York into West Virginia, Pennsylvania, those areas, as well as I believe Ohio. You all have a winter weather advisory over here. This is because of a lake effect snowfall, and all of this is because of what we talked about yesterday, which was this next system moving onto the western coast, and that's going to be dumping a good couple of feet in some areas over the higher elevations, and lower elevations mainly rainfall, not cold enough yet for those areas. Flood advisories, over parts of southwestern California, where you guys could get about 1 to 2 inches of rain, and then especially the northern part of the state looks to get maybe 5 inches of rainfall in some isolated areas. Then we have some air quality alerts and air stagnation advisories in effect for parts of western Idaho into eastern parts of Oregon, and then also western parts of Oregon as well. So we're going to look at what the National Weather Service has as far as snowfall is concerned for this system. Well, as far as lake effect is going, we see some isolated amounts closer to a foot of snowfall. That's how lake effect works. It's very isolated snowfall. Generally a 1 to 3 inch, 3 to 5 inches in some areas, and then some areas seeing close to 6 to 12 inches and more of snowfall. And what you see over here in parts of near Boston into Portland, Concord, New Hampshire, Albany, all of these areas could be. This is all this 1 inch area. This is all from this next system that could be coming into effect come just 2 or 3 days. The models are kind of flip-flopping around. Some models have this southerly track like the GFS. The European is kind of more in the middle of all of these, and then the GFS or the Canadian model is more onto the northern side of this. So we're going to be looking at a couple of these models just kind of seeing what they're showing. And then I made a couple of graphics. No snow. I'm not making a snow forecast just yet. Maybe I might make one if we get a little bit of certainty because it is quite uncertain still, even though we're 3 days out. So I just made my probabilities of seeing 1 inch of snowfall and a probability of seeing 3 inches of snowfall, which will be at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned. Now here is the European model and what it's showing as far as precipitation. So you're seeing this is the lake effect snowfall closer to the shore, seeing some mixing with some rain and some ice, and then once you get interior enough, you're going to be seeing some widespread snowfall. So that's not really what we're going to be talking about, and you see this lingers all the way into Thursday night. Now once Thursday night comes, Friday morning comes, you see this is starting to come in. This is what we're talking about. This little area of energy coming in for late Thursday night into early Friday morning over northern Michigan and northern Wisconsin. It's going to move into the Great Lakes, into near just to the east of Erie, Pennsylvania. Erie is probably going to stay as all rain or some mixing with this event, but then once you get just to the east of there, potentially some snowfall from this come Friday morning. And then you're going to see starts to move into upstate New York, western Massachusetts, and into really central New England come Friday afternoon. And then as you're getting off of work, as you're kind of going home from work, getting off the bus, you're seeing some snowfall appearing in Boston. So maybe a bit of a slick commute, a tricky commute come Friday afternoon and Friday's commute, and then kind of rolls out by Saturday morning, and then all you're seeing is some lingering snow showers, nothing much. Now, here's what the European is showing as far as snowfall, and we'll take this out all the 90 hours, and you're seeing a good area of about 2 to 3 inches of snowfall coming into upstate New York and Pennsylvania, and that includes Albany, New York, right around here, where you saw about 20 inches, I believe, or right around 16 inches from this event, and you're gonna get about another inch. Boston, another inch, according to the European model. Some of the White Mountains, the Green Mountains, could be seeing 2 to 3 inches of snowfall, according to the European model. Now we're gonna look at the GFS and the CMC model right now. So here we go with the GFS. So it shows those lake effect snow showers currently ongoing, and then here's this system. It's kind of hard to pick out, but it's really this blotch of energy right here, and it's not very powerful and it's very weak, according to the GFS model. And then the GFS kind of strings it together with this southern energy, which is actually from the western storm, which we talked about yesterday. That southeastern component, it has it bringing it up all the way up, and it's gonna kind of combine, and it's gonna bring some snowfall into parts of the Northeast and into the central and southern New England area. But you see, it really goes out of parts of Boston into Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Really, it's out of here by Saturday morning. So not a lot according to the GFS model as far as what it's showing. Now here is the snowfall accumulation from the GFS model. So you see, it's not a lot. It's really in these blues. That's about 1/100 of an inch to 1 inch, and then in the lighter blues, getting closer to 2 to 3, 4 inches of snowfall. So you see, really very scattered and not very well defined where this 1 inch area is, and mainly this might be just coming down from the sky, but really not kind of sticking to the ground. So probably not sticking to the ground if the GFS is correct. With that more southern track, you're not having as much moisture coming in, and it has two fizzled out systems already coming together, gonna make not too impressive of a low pressure. So not gonna be too much in the form of snowfall according to the GFS. So this is your more southerly track. So if this does happen, this would be really, if this takes a southern track, this would be what happens what the GFS is showing. So here is the CMC model, the Canadian model. It shows the lake effect snow. By Thursday night, it's really out of here, and then here's that system. So you see, the Canadian model has a very fairly strong, I wouldn't say very strong, but pretty strong compared to what we've been seeing from the European and the GFS model. Moves in, develops a low pressure, a very weak low pressure. It's about 1,000 or so millibars, so not very strong. But you see how it takes a very northern track, according to the CMC model, and this would be more of a northern New England, interior northeast type of system, and it's out. Either way, this system isn't going to produce 6, 7, 8 inches of snowfall. It's really just going to be that quick coating of snowfall, really a conversational snowfall, not really going to deal too much in the way of hectic travel or shoveling, really. Maybe some isolated areas could get some shovelable snow, but probably not going to happen. Maybe a coating to an inch, a quick coating to an inch, and that's it. I'm not very impressed by this system. It's just a quick little Alberta clipper that's going to come up from Canada, and then behind it you see some cold air, which we'll talk about in tomorrow's video, where you could be seeing a lot of cold air. Some areas could see their high temperatures in the single digits over the Midwest for later in the week and into early next week. So here is the Canadian model and what it's showing as far as snowfall, and you see a bit heavier on the snowfall, but it's further to the north. So Albany, you would be seeing close to 2 inches of snowfall, and then once you get closer to Burlington, Vermont, could be seeing 2 inches, and then to your east you could be seeing close to 6 inches. So very sporadic, and I'm not really seeing how intense this will be. I really don't think it will be this intense as as intense as the Canadian model showing. I'm going more with the European model. It has been fairly good with these systems, and that's why I'm kind of agreeing with it more. The Canadian model did okay with the last system, the Winter Storm Ezekiel, but really all the models struggled on those ones. But I feel like the European did the best out of all of them, so I'm gonna trust the European for this one. And it's kind of the average of the Gem model and the GFS model. The European is. So here now we're gonna look at your forecast according to me. So here is the forecast, and here's where you could be seeing the possibility of a 1+ inch snowfall. And this isn't exactly gonna stick. This isn't saying it's gonna stick, but I'm just saying that there's the possibility that you will see at least an inch. And if that sticks, it'll be hard to tell. We're really gonna have to see if it's sticking. Probably some of this will, because you already have some colder surfaces, and it might actually accumulate over some of the snow that you'll still have on the ground from Ezekiel in those areas. So possible 1+ inches in this area, in this blue. Now, as we add our next layer here, this is your likely 1 inch plus area, and I'm not gonna go with the next layer would have been very likely, but I really don't think we have anywhere that will be very likely seeing a 1 inch plus, because the variability on where this system actually moves is very high, and so we really don't have a good defined answer to where this is gonna be the most likely to see an inch plus. Now we have a possibility for 3 inches plus over closer to the Finger Lakes region of New York, into eastern parts of Michigan, and then into eastern parts of the northern peninsula of Michigan. Possible for 3 inch plus. I didn't put a likely or a very likely, because we really just don't have those chances. It's not high enough of a chance for me to put likely or very likely right now. I might have a snowfall forecast out on this tomorrow. It's really gonna depend on how big of an event this is, and how certain the models are. I don't want to put out a forecast if I'm still uncertain with what's gonna happen. I really think that wouldn't be a very good of an idea. So I'm gonna try and get an overall consensus of what the models are showing by either tonight or tomorrow morning, and then by tomorrow afternoon, I'll try and put out a forecast for you guys. Anyways, if you did enjoy that video, please consider liking the video, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you never miss a video when I upload. Anyways, guys, that was Eli the Weather Guy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.